missing someone. Love with all your heart. Missing someone. Love with heart.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this week I'm not doing a client, I'm doing a model, and for my model day today we're going to be using the new Masquerade purple by Danger Jones. They gifted me a few boxes of the purple to try it out and create some fun looks with, so we're going to be just putting it right over her pre-lightened pieces. This is my client Alice, and we lightened her like not too long ago, and we used like a very smoky beautiful pink, and it faded out to this gorgeous pastel tone. So today we're just going to be putting purple right on top of it, not lightening anything up. Normally when I do like a model day, I try to really pick a model that I have to technically do the least amount of work, because in reality a model is not paying full price, and you want to utilize your time as much as possible, because for this I want to focus on the styling aspect and the end shot and creating the content for this and be really creative. So I'm going to be spending a little extra time than I normally would on a client. So I'm going to be using this product just straight out of the tube. I normally don't do this for my creative colors, but for this one, this purple is just so beautiful. So originally when they did their first launch of colors, they did come out with a purple, and their deeper purple is called Libertine, but Libertine is a little bit more of a cool toned violet, so it does have the chance of it kind of fading bluish depending on how yellow your canvas is. But Masquerade is a little bit of a warmer shade purple, so this should really fade tone on tone out more of like a purple tone. And I love the Danger Jones line because it is so pigmented, and the viscosity of this product is just so nice when you're applying it on the hair. It's very smooth, it smells amazing, and I feel like it just spreads very well too, and making it really easy to kind of paint the hair. So you can see I'm really not using a ton of product here, but you can see how well the product spreads, and with how pigmented it is, honestly I feel like I don't have to use as much, and it just like applies very easily to any hair type. So these semi-permanent shades are recommended to be used on like pre-lightened hair. If you want to get the full punch of the color, I would recommend lightening your client at least to like maybe like a level 9, but because this purple is pretty pigmented, I believe it could definitely show up on like even a level 7, but definitely it just would be a little bit more of a muted tone if you do apply it on a level 7. The other purples that they do have is like Hysteria and Exotica. Those two purples are going to be a little bit lighter. Hysteria is more of like a berry toned purple, and it is more on the warmer side, and then Exotica is more of like a cool base pastel purple, which is really pretty as well too. And I feel like the Masquerade just kind of completes the purples within the line, because you definitely need a warm toned purple just in general so that it fades out more tone on tone. I feel like I always let my clients know whenever they do go purple that it's a little bit better to go more of a warm toned purple versus like a cool toned purple, because it will fade out a little bit better in case your client is more yellow underneath. Alrighty, so here is my gorgeous client with the purple all washed out. We styled her, and I am loving how pigmented this purple is. I feel like it gives such a beautiful, soft, like bright contrast against her dark hair. And honestly, this placement that we did this last time was just stunning. I feel like it's growing out so well. It like is very subtle yet still on the chunky side, if chunky could be subtle. So for this look, or this color, I would say, I wanted to show you guys like a few different styles. So I really had fun with it. I feel like this is like the whole point of doing a model, is like trying out different hairstyles that you normally wouldn't have time for on your normal clients. So I did kind of like a bouncy blowout on her, and then I kind of set it with some flat clips. I've only done this type of blowout like this, I would say maybe like two. I think this was like my second time doing it like this. I think next time I would definitely use rollers to kind of set it, but it was still really fun to do. I feel like the blowout look is very on trend lately. It's what a lot of clients would rather have, opposed to like your normal typical beach wave, because a blowout is something that a lot of clients can't really do at home. But I feel like a lot of clients nowadays can definitely give themselves a really cool beach wave. So I wanted to do something a little bit more fun. We did it in sections, and the way that I blow dried her hair, I'm sorry I didn't get clips of it, but I'll use a round brush and kind of round brush her hair, and just I won't take sections thicker than the width of my round brush, and then I kind of just, once that section that I'm round brushing is nice and warm, I'll let it loose, and then I'll kind of recurl it up and pin it. And so we kind of just let it sit, and I just brushed it out right now, and look how beautiful, bouncy, and like shiny her hair looks. I was so envious. I was really missing the days when I had creative color, because it just looked so pretty. I would have loved to have this shade of purple. So for the second look, I am gonna like curl her hair, give it some bend a little bit. So the way that I curl my client's hair is I will curl starting from that midsection, and I do like to alternate my curls unless I'm going more for like that Hollywood wave look. Alternating your curls will help make it look tousled, more effortless, a little bit more beachy. And then if you were to curl all of your curls in the same direction, it kind of gives more of like a Hollywood wave, where it's like a very classic curled look where all the waves are kind of uniform and going in the same direction. So for this client, I just wanted to do something more effortless, like how I would normally curl my client's hair day to day. And I am using a 1¼ inch barrel. This is kind of like my go-to depending on their hair type lately. I feel like a looser curl is really in, especially because that blowout look is really in. I feel like the blowout look is in because it just looks very effortless and it's not too curly. I feel like we're definitely gearing towards looks that look done up, but like more on the natural side, opposed to doing like a full-on like styled beach wave type of look. I feel like people are definitely gearing towards more of like a softer look, but still really polished and styled in some type of way, with having the ends nice and like wispy and just soft looking. And then my curling iron, I would say, I believe I have it at like 365 degrees. It does have the temperature gauge on the curling iron. I am using an Olivia Garden one. This one is a really good one. I feel like the hair doesn't slip when I clamp it, which I really love. I feel like I've used other curling irons in the past that kind of like the hair can slip sometimes, so that's really important, especially when you're doing beach waves, to have good tension on the curling iron. And then the other thing that I really love about this curling iron is I like that it's a little bit extra long for hair that is this long as well too. But yeah, I've tried in the past, like I've used the Babyliss one and the Hot Tools one, and those are good too, but I don't know, I like the way that the Olivia Garden one feels. And yeah, I would say for temperature, I would definitely not put your clients, or even if you're curling your hair at home, I wouldn't use a temperature anything higher than the 365. If I could do 350, I probably would on her, but this one only goes from like I think 325 to 365. But if I were to tell my clients what temperature to use, I would definitely just tell them to try to use the lowest as possible to where they can still use the iron. So I would say maybe like 325 and below if they can, because anything hotter is really gonna fade your color, especially when you're doing creative color tones like this. Heat will open up the cuticle and push out the color a lot faster. That's also why I tell my clients to use cold water when they rinse their hair. But yeah, anything hotter than that, I feel like will just really damage your hair with no matter how much like heat protectant you really use over time. If you keep using something that is like really hot, and even though you're using good products, it can still burn your hair. So I always recommend to definitely use heat protectant, but use a temperature that's maybe like 350 and below if you are curling it often. So this was actually my first time using Masquerade, and I was actually very surprised with how pigmented it was. I feel like it covered very well as well too. The other thing is, I was talking about it with my coworker, and she had used it on one of her models and said that it actually glows in the black light. I haven't tested it, but she said that it really did glow, so I think that's really cool because I've never even seen a purple that really glows in the black light. I feel like whenever neons come out, they never really make an electric purple, but this one, if what she said is true and it really does glow, then that's really cool because if you're ever doing any type of neon colors or using any models for it, you can probably get some really cool shots like that. I'd probably have to try that next time, but it just goes to show like how electric and pigmented this purple is in person. And I say that you can really mix it with any of the colors to use it as like something to make your colors deeper or a little bit warmer, anything that it is, or even to like cancel out a little bit of yellow. I do like to do that in a lot of like my blue formulas. If it's like a vibrant blue, I will definitely add some purple into it to kind of cancel out the yellow, because if you're putting blue on yellow hair, you're going to want something that's going to cancel out that yellow if you're not pre-toning the hair. Alrighty, so this is what her hair looked like. She was so happy with this purple. It was such a nice change for her as well too. I feel like she looks good with just about any color, but since this purple is so pigmented and beautiful, it's gonna fade out really pretty. And I would say something like this, if you wash your hair like once or twice a week, would probably last you maybe like a month and a half, or even longer, depending on the health of your hair, honestly. Alrighty guys, that is it for this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoy this hair transformation, and I will talk to you guys next week.